Leila Latif has written an article in today's Guardian, and she is scathing about the support given to British nationals in Sudan over the last couple of weeks. And she says that she had to take matters into her own hand. She spent 2 days in a bus sleeping on the ground to get across the Egyptian border to be safe. She says that her family is now safe. She took matters into her own hands because she wanted to protect her children particularly. She said they were fighting for their lives. They were completely abandoned by our government, whereas the French, Italian, Greeks, Canadian nationals, in stark contrast, were being helped. The Prime Minister has said that people are working flat out to sort out the problem. So presumably flat out in the same way as Dominic Raab and his team were working flat out to help people in Kabul. Though, no one was on the ground, says Leila Latif, to help when the crisis started. Mostly, she says, this is a PR stunt. And the British government is doing noticeably less than other governments in with people currently in Sudan. She says it's a scandal. I entirely agree. And when we look at the broader situation, the ambassador, the deputy ambassador, the head of security, all of them on holiday, all of them missing, the entire senior staff of the British representatives, British diplomatic representatives in Sudan, were all on holiday or have been evacuated. It's just a demonstration of rank incompetence and utter irresponsibility. And it's not getting any better, and it's paralleled entirely by the incompetence displayed by our staff and by our senior politicians when Kabul fell. We need to have a better standard of responsibility. We need to have proper proper terms where, in the end, I think this is about moral responsibility, not about political responsibility. From that point of view, Rishi Sunak, James Cleverly, and their teams have got it badly wrong. I think this is not only a PR disaster, which I hope will be reflected in the May local elections, but it is a disaster for our country. So not only a PR disaster for the Conservative Party, it's a disaster for Britain. And it's time. It's time we signalled that this is the wrong way forward. It's not enough simply to find words to explain a situation, because people's lives are affected. This is the same nonsense that we saw with Theresa May when she took over in the wake of the Brexit referendum. Words are not enough. Words are simply a signal of the actions that we have taken or are going to take. Words are not a screen behind which other actions can take place or inaction can take place. This is the way that she set up the Home Office. This is, in fact, exactly what she termed the hostile environment. The hostile environment is the inactivity of the Home Office in the face of the calls for help. Now we see that hostile environment also operates in the Foreign Office. We had a pretty strong hint of that reality during the fall of Kabul. And there are still Afghans crossing the channel because there is no other support given to them. And they are then being met by the tyranny of Suella Braverman's rhetoric. Invasion! In the same way that Andrew Bridgen has been denied the whip and now has lost the membership of the Conservative Party, I think Suella Braverman and Dominic Raab should be similarly punished for the example that they have set. I think Mrs. May should be there as well, for the example that they have set to the British people of this is the way, this is the lack of concern that senior British politicians have for the citizens who have voted them in, for the subjects of His Majesty who have voted for these people to take control, who have delegated their personal responsibility to these individuals. This is not responsibility. This is hiding behind rhetoric. And that sort of behaviour needs to stop. It's unacceptable. It costs lives. And to tell people in the Sudan to stay at home when homes are being bombed and when people are being shot as they do the washing up, James Cleverly, you need to hang your head in shame, because you know exactly what we're talking about. You're running around the place trumpeting your military credentials, and yet when it comes to the crunch, you do nothing. In fact, you hide, and then you pop up and start pontificating about China. Do your job, Mr. Cleverly. Do your job, because you're not doing it in any way at the moment.